All right. Hello, everyone. My name is James Hull. Welcome to our third question and answer period for Canada HomeShare. So this week we have Jackie Tanner, our national manager for Canada HomeShare, and we have Caitlin Olson, our Region of Peel pilot site coordinator. Hello.
Hi, James.
Hi, James.
So each week we go through different questions we get by email, Instagram, Facebook, the whole shebang, and we just simply answer them. So what we'd like to do is we'll have a few questions and we'll just give answers. And if anyone would like to dive in and submit a question, just go right ahead. So let me go over here. So Jackie, the first question that we get a lot of is, your program sounds like a good idea, but I'm not quite sure. What should I do?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hesitation because a lot of people don't understand how the program works. So if you think you might be interested, there's a live information session slide deck at the bottom of the website that you can watch that kind of walks you through the process of what the program is and how it would work if you decided to be an applicant. I think if you're a home provider, maybe thinking about, do you have the space to share? How do you feel about sharing the space? And starting out with a pros and cons list is how I would go about it, maybe writing some of those ideas down, and some of the tasks that you would like assistance with around the house, and seeing if those things match up with what a home share student could do. The other thing is if you're looking for more information or you're not sure, send us an email, give us a call, and the HomeShare social workers are more than happy to walk you through those questions that you might have. Is this Oliver?
It is.
Amazing. James's kids are with us tonight, and I'm always happy when they're with us.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's just like a lot of people have questions and we're really willing to answer those questions.
Yeah, of course. I think the fear of the unknown, a lot of the home providers that I talk to, they kind of are worried that if they apply, maybe a student will just show up at their house and that's the way it's going to work. But the process is actually quite slow, and it's at your own pace as an applicant. So you can apply, you have an interview with a social worker, you can express any concerns, ask any questions at that time, and then the moving forward plan begins from there. But it really is a deliberately slow process. And by the time you meet your match and maybe move in with your match, it won't feel like a stranger. You'll know your social worker quite well and your potential match.
So Jackie, the next question that we get a lot is, my grandson and I live together. The student's room would be in the basement. Can I apply?
Yeah, of course. Any home with a home provider 55 plus in a Canada HomeShare city can apply to be part of the program. So we've got married couples, maybe a couple of friends who are sharing a home, people with adult children or grandchildren living at home, that's fine. They will be looped into the whole process. So the social worker will want to meet with all of the members of the household beforehand, but absolutely, could absolutely apply.
And you mean when you say looped in, you mean the reference checks and all that?
So we wouldn't check references on the grandson, it's just on the applicant, but for all the matching purposes and interview purposes, we would have all the members participate in that. So we can get to know the needs of kind of the unit and all the people living in it.
So Caitlin, a lot of people ask, can I apply for next year?
Great question. Yeah. So we only accept applications and can move forward with applications if you're a student or a home provider that's ready to be matched. And as Jackie mentioned, that process, it can take, I would say approximately 2 months, but we can only move forward with applications for people ready to get into that process right away, because we do a very detailed virtual interview and We get to know a lot of details about your current living situation and current needs. And of course, like for anybody, those details are always subject to change. And so we don't want to waste any of your time going through that whole process. And yeah, so we do only accept applications at the time that the student and home provider are ready to move forward with the process.
So Jackie, another thing we get a lot is questions about allergies. So like if a person had like severe allergies to scents, or you're worried about students using things that would give it a reaction, what's your response to that?
Yeah, that comes up quite a bit. The application actually gives a pretty long spot where you can mention anything that might be concerning to have coming into your home, such as scents or nut allergy, something like that. And we use that information in the screening of the student that would potentially be matched with you if you're a home provider. So just the more detailed someone is in the application, the better we can do at screening out things that would be problematic for you. And those things are also written into the HomeShare agreement if a match is made. So if there's a no net policy in the home and there's a safety risk involved in that, it would be written into the HomeShare agreement as well, and the student would be made aware, and so the social worker would be as well.
So Caitlin, another question that's come in: I have a spare room, but it doesn't have any furniture. Can I still apply?
Absolutely. We are able to accept applications from home providers that have a furnished room or an unfurnished room. The only policy for the room specifically is that the home provider must have a room available for the student that has a door. So it's a dedicated space for that student with a door. And that's the only policy around that. It can be furnished or unfurnished.
Okay. So Jackie, a question from email. My parents don't speak English, but I would like to participate in the HomeShare, but would like to participate in the HomeShare program. Can they apply?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do our best to provide opportunities for people to apply that might not. What am I trying to say? The application is available in English. So if they need assistance, you're welcome to assist them with that application and come to the interview. We have students that speak all languages, just like we have home providers. So if it's a case of you'd prefer that your parents were matched with somebody who spoke their language, that can absolutely be written into the agreement. It might kind of lengthen the amount of time it would take to find a potential match, but absolutely anything that's required accessibility wise can be written into that application.
So Caitlin, one thing that comes up a lot is this question. I think my mom would really benefit from the program. Can I apply on her behalf?
Yes, we do see that, and it's a good question. So as Jackie mentioned, there are a lot of instances where a home provider might require or desire assistance in applying, and that could be a language barrier, or it could be a barrier with technology, so it's difficult to access the application and fill it out online, as that's how it's done with our program. So often we do have adult children who will help their parent, who is the home provider, to apply. And we do ask that that's indicated somewhere on the application, so we know who's the correct contact person and that sort of thing. So just an indication on the application that a person or this person did help. And we do ask that, other than that, that the home providers apply themselves if they're able and don't require assistance, because we want to respect the autonomy and independence of that person and make sure that they're interested in the program. And so we do request that if assistance is not needed with the application, that the home provider directly apply themselves.
So Jackie, final question, one that we get from students a lot. My school program starts next month and I need to find a place to live close to campus. Can you match me right away?
Yeah. So the home share process, like I mentioned before, is a bit lengthy. It involves a few steps. So some of those steps aren't up to us timing wise, like the vulnerable sector screening. Some places very quick, places like Toronto, a bit slower. So it's not that we wouldn't, it's that we may not have homes available in a month. We may not have that VSS back. We might not have a home provider that was compatible for you. So unlikely that someone could be matched in inside of a month. I believe it has rarely occurred, but it's not necessarily out of the question, but I would say very unlikely.
Yeah, those vulnerable sector screens do take some time.
Yeah, some places you walk in and get it the same day. Some places it's a few weeks to a few months sometimes, depending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really one of the parts of the program that we've tried to solve and make as fast as possible.
Yeah, I understand that push to get housing is extremely difficult for students, but we really want people to go into this program mindfully. We want the intergenerational piece is important. The assisting your home provider piece is important. Getting to know each other and doing the process the way that it's laid out is important for the success of a match. So although I empathize, it's not something that can necessarily be rushed, unfortunately.
No, it's one of our core principles in our program is the vulnerable sector screen.
Yeah, and the personal reference check and the soft introduction to the home provider and the student, and then the in-person. It is a process that works, and that's why we do it. But it does limit us for making things happen more quickly.
Yeah. Well, Jackie, Caitlin, thank you so much for coming out tonight. If anyone has any questions, info@canadahomeshare.com, or send us a message on Facebook or Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your questions. So other than that, good night, everyone.
Hey, James. Hi,
Thanks,
Caitlin.
James.